And now, enjoy a life rich with results on The Rich Life with Anita Rich.
Woohoo! Well, good morning, everybody. Okay, so last year we ended the year by saying, where is 2013 going? Can somebody tell me why it's almost February? I haven't even made all of my resolutions, but one resolution I had was to have a guest. And oh my God, you are in such a treat today. So, who am I? I'm Anita Rich, and I'm your host of The Rich Life, coming to you live from beautiful Sunset Gower Studios at UBN Radio, Channel 1. Tune into The Rich Life each and every Monday, coming to you at 12 noon. So, guess what? I just found out from our producers, which is unbelievable to me, that after 8 weeks of doing the show, we have almost 4,000 listeners. So here's the deal. I want to know who you are. I want to know where you're from. And I want to know what we collectively, as The Rich Life, can do to help your life. I want to know if you want to know about real estate. And, you know, people come to me and they say, what is all the stuff you're doing? I mean, you've got lenders on there, and you have commercial agents, and you have business entrepreneurs and title people and home warranty people. And all of this is wonderful, but you never talk about real estate. And I guess the reason for that is because real estate is my passion. It's what I do for a living. But I'm a very well-rounded person who's had her ups and downs, who was a single mom with 3 kids, who was in a time in her life where she didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, who was in a marriage that wasn't working, 2 wonderful people, got married, too young, had 3 kids, and the relationship didn't work. So I've overcome that, and I want to share that with you. And I am now living the rich life. I'm in my 60s. I'm with my second husband, who's an angel. He's the love of my life. He never watches the show, so I can say whatever I want. But I can't talk smack about him because he's amazing. He helped me raise my 3 daughters, and he's fantastic. And along with that, I'm probably going to work till I can't walk or talk anymore. And even then, I'm just going to do sign language. One more deal. But that being said, we are here for you. And I won't know what you want or what you need until you tell me that. So since I never remember, Linda, dear, what is our Facebook?
www.facebook.com/therichliferadio.
How hard is that? You would think I would know that. So do me a favor. Our website is this close to being finished. But until we do that, send me any and all questions that you have. So 2 of the questions I had this week, one of them was, how does somebody decide on a good lender? You're in Southern California and I'm in Boston. And all I want to say to you is email me. Because the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get on this show and talk 10 minutes about something that's going to get everybody else to go, I'm bored with this, I don't really care, and tune out. So I want to only talk about things that matter to you. And if it's, being a single mom, if it's not loving the job that you have, if it's, should I get married? Should I not get married? We don't have any credentials to answer anything. The only credentials I have is every known credential in real estate. I'm a broker. I'm a certified residential specialist. I'm a luxury division director. I'm a training director in our office. Oh yeah, Linda, new job I got last week. They made me the training director. I do all kinds of things. I do talk shows, blah, blah, blah. I was on $1 Million Listing. I was on Celebrity House Hunt, all of that good stuff. But you know what? None of that matters if it doesn't apply to what you want. So let us know what you want, and let us help you with whatever information. And listen, what we say may not be relevant to you at all, but it'll be another tool in your toolbox. I'm a graduate of the Landmark Forum. I've got people who've graduated from all kinds of different things. I have 2 coaches. Actually, now I have 3. I have 3 coaches. Take that, Michael Jackson. And, the bottom line is that you can't ever learn enough about any subject. And I'm very learning-based, and I really think it's really, really important that you have an idea of who you are and what it is that you can do better. Because so many people say, I want to get rid of this bad habit. You know what? Your bad habits are your bad habits. If you take the time to improve on the things you do well and strengthen those, the things you don't do that well will eventually just kind of disappear into the background. So, now you know how to reach us. And that being said, I want to talk to you a little bit about the girls I have today. Oh my goodness. I have so much respect. I actually know one better than the other. And the lady I know is Olivia Leigh. Olivia Leigh. Oh my goodness. Not only is she a doll, not only does she's given birth to my boyfriend. I know that sounds really gross, but he's 3.5 years old. And he calls me Grandma Anita. And when they were house hunting and I didn't go with them, he'd go, "Where's Grandma Anita?" True story. I couldn't make it up. And she is hardworking, good-natured, even-tempered, talented, beautiful. She's an amazing wife. She's an amazing mom. She's got other little surprises she'll share. And she partnered, and she's also a singer-songwriter, pianist, and she's partnered with singer-songwriter, guitarist, Briana Vague. And they write and they perform. Are you ready? Wait for it. Original music. So they are absolutely fabulous. They call themselves women. Between you and me, there's not one darn thing wrong about these girls, but they will tell you how they came up with that. They're going to release their first album this month. Wow! So I'm really excited. And it's going to release a few days before the 27th. They have a performance that I hope I'm going to see you at, because you know I'm going to be there. And after a very, 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 very short break, I will introduce you to the wrong women who do everything right. Come back. Join us. Hi. Welcome back. So I forgot to mention, I went to see Pink. Yep. But guess where? Guess where? Guess where? I went to see Pink in Utah during the film festival, Sundance. So I got to see a whole bunch of really fun people, and I got to see Pink. And I got to tell you, this woman is ridiculously incredible. I have never seen anybody put on a show like this. I mean, if you don't like her music, it's one thing. But as far as theatrically amazing, I mean, she flies, she vaults, she's sexy, she's hot, she's sultry, she's literally amazing. So much fun, I can't even tell you. And if you haven't seen her spin like crazy at the, was that the Emmys or was the Grammy Award show? And then afterwards, if you're going to find that on YouTube, afterwards she has this little interview with Oprah. And she talks about, how she was able to spin like crazy, then curtsy and walk away, walking straight. I mean, seriously, it was unbelievable. Anyway, so that's my story about Pink, because I had a friend. I mean, my goodness, I am really one of the luckiest women in the world. I had a friend who said, "I want you to come to Utah." And I went, "Yeah, okay, what am I going to do in Utah?" She goes, "Well, I want you to visit me." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll come visit you." And she goes, "And I'm buying you a ticket to Pink." I'm like, "I'm there!" But really, I love her. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone. And so it was really a fabulous time. So talking about Pink and music, let me turn this over and let me introduce you to my women of the day. Say hello to...
Hi, I'm Olivia.
I'm Briana.
Olivia and Briana, we've got a piano player, singer-songwriter, and a guitar player, singer-songwriter, and I want to get to know everything about them. Let's go. So everybody wants to know, what is Wrong Women all about?
Well, are you familiar with the expression, "you just messed with the wrong woman"?
Ooh, yes.
That's where it comes from.
Oh! So it comes from strength.
It does.
Comes through going through some hard things together and coming out on the other side feeling like that's who we are.
Oh my God! Well, that's what I love. And by the way, which I don't think I've told any of you about, my second husband and I met at Denim and Diamond Country Western Dancing,
Yeah.
and I can't believe that it's not around. So I'm a huge country western fan, and I know how to line dance.
There are a lot of closet country western fans in LA.
Lucky
And
for
why
us.
are they in the closet? And why doesn't somebody open up another club? Hello, there's no place
They're
to go.
really far. You have to go like an hour.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
open one up locally.
We should.
Okay.
Done.
Okay, so I have a friend, Clara. Clara, if you're watching, here's the deal. I know you wanted to open up a little club to do salsa and all of that. Here are the girls. They're going to do the entertaining. You and I are going to open it up. I'll help finance it because God knows I don't have any more butts or chairs to sit on. So we're doing Country Western Club. Okay, so you are inspired for your songs. How?
By life.
Yeah.
By whatever we're going through at the time. I mean, we've written songs from everything. I mean, there's your heartbreak and letting bitterness go songs, and your, let's see,
Yeah,
loving
I don't know.
your
What are they all
your little
about?
boy. Olivia wrote a song for a little boy. It's really sweet, and just life and things everyone goes through, and they can relate to. I hope.
Well, so why is it that I've always loved country western, because to me it's like very balladsy and it always tells a story, right? Country western tells a story.
True.
Why do other genres of music not incorporate that? And even if they do tell a story, half the time you can't understand it because like doing or out with the music.
Yeah.
And I love music of all kinds.
I think most country music is not afraid to be just upfront and on the nose about what it's about. I guess we're not traditionally country in that way because we have a few songs that are that direct, but most of our songs are a little more, they could be about anything. They're about a specific thing, but they could maybe be interpreted a few different ways.
So how'd you guys meet?
Well, actually, we were in a Bible study together,
Aw.
and then we went on a sewing adventure.
We did.
Because
Brianna helped me sew curtains because I
own
have
a
all
sewing
these.
machine.
I have all these crafty ideas, but I'm not crafty. So we went to the fabric district in downtown, picked out fabric, and she made me curtains, and we weren't even really friends yet.
That off of
I was
Santee
like, I know I
or
like this
7th?
girl.
Or?
Yeah, down there.
Yep.
Oh my God. So you're
Yeah.
one of these multi-talented talents.
Yeah, very creative and awesome. Yeah.
So Olivia, just tell us why I love the crap out of you.
I don't know.
Because you are
Nope.
the mommy of.
Oh, Elijah Bear.
Okay, and is Elijah going to have like a visitor?
He's going to have a baby sister April Fool's Day, most likely.
Oh my gosh.
And that's no joke.
So, yeah.
And that was the first date that I met my husband Herb, who,
On April Fool's
yeah,
Day?
that was our first date. And I said, is this a real date or are you just kidding? And he just said, why? And he didn't even realize it was April 1st.
Yeah.
So now I always say to him, April 1st, I said, we're not really together. It's just a figment of your imagination.
It's just a joke. It's just a prank.
The last 20
A
years.
really
has been
long prank.
20 years this April
Yeah.
1st.
Wow,
That's
congratulations.
great.
So you're going to have the baby April 1st. Okay.
Well, I don't think I'm going to last that long, but we'll see what happens.
Does she have a name or is that private?
We're having a hard time with that.
You know what's so
We
funny?
don't have any names. Huh?
My daughter is my daughter Diana, who has the other love of my life, or the love of my life, Graydon, is having a baby mid-April, and it's the same thing. We have a name, and then I kind of, I start getting used to it. She goes, no, jury's out. We're not sure.
Yeah.
Isn't that easy? Was
It's
it hard to get
hard.
Elijah's name, or it just kind of came to you?
We had a ton of boy names we liked, and then we were keeping it a secret because we didn't want people's input. You get really excited about a name, and then somebody says something awful about it, and then you feel insecure. So once the baby's born, they're not going to say anything awful, most likely.
Oh, that's so funny. So were you lucky enough to not have to be involved in the creative house remodeling process, or did that...
Well, I actually was just the support team, and I made some soup and
It was
did some
amazing.
things like that.
We were driving back
When
from
they didn't have a
Texas,
kitchen,
and all I
so.
wanted was vegetable soup. And there was nowhere we stopped on the road that had it. And I literally had just left a restaurant, ate something that made me feel really sick. And I got a text from her hey, I made you a huge pot of vegetable soup out of nowhere.
The angel.
Totally in
She's
sync.
that
She's an
angel.
angel.
She's the angel that came
Yeah.
along.
She had plastic, because we didn't have any silverware or anything. She had the plastic bowls and the spoons and a ladle. She thought of everything. She's amazing.
You know what? Those are the friends that you just can't put a price tag
Yeah,
on.
she
So you're a keeper.
definitely.
Aw,
You're a keeper.
Definitely.
Although,
it's mutual.
yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, she's amazing, and so I get the little bits and pieces on Facebook of how the kitchen's being ripped apart, and
Yes.
and it looks amazing. And of course, I'm just being lazy. I don't want to come till it's done.
Well, that might be 5 years from now. So.
No, the kitchen's almost done. I mean, it looked
Yeah.
like
It's getting there. It's getting there.
so. Olivia did not, have Elijah. I mean, she had Elijah on her own, but she's got a lot of help because she has the most adorable, the funniest. In my book, almost the handsomest husband, who also has been really great, because I never see her in the pictures, although, she's about to have a baby, so it's not exactly what she would do. But he's there hammering away 14 hours a
Yep.
day, so sweat equity has not gone by
Yeah.
the wayside.
He works on the house all day and then tends bar at night. He's been putting in the hours for sure.
Well, you guys are gorgeous, and I'm so excited. I can't even say another word. So is this a good time? Can we play a song?
Yeah.
Sure.
Does this work?
Yeah.
All right, Maestro.
Are we
Ready?
make sure our
Go
guitar
ahead, yeah,
levels
go
are good?
ahead.
Ready? All right.
Sound good to you?
Just outside of Tulsa, not too far from home, she puts her quarters into
a rusty old payphone. She cannot remember,
She cannot recall
what happened through the years that made her feel
so small. Ordinary girl,
disappearing dream. All she ever wanted was to be loved and be seen. She wasn't after fortune,
fame don't call her name. She just wanted a piece of the world to change. Surrounded by boxes, pictures and scenes, telling sweet and bitter stories of fancy wanted things.
she cannot remember
She cannot recall
what happened through the years that made her feel
so small. Ordinary girl,
disappearing dream.
all she ever wanted was to be loved and be seen.
She wasn't after fortune,
No fame don't call her name. She just wanted a piece of the world to change.
holes worn in the pavement, paid her dues and change,
Leaving it behind her now, life's been rearranged.
she cannot remember
She cannot recall
what happened through the years
that made her feel so small.
All right, there's a really good word called verklempt. I'm so moved. I just don't even know what to tell you. Oh my gosh. And you know, I think what people don't realize, I have a lot of people in my life who are amazing musicians. And I think it's because I love music so much and can't hit a note, except in the shower. I'm so good. But I have to tell you that with just a guitar and the harmony of your voices and no piano, nothing else, I'm floored. I'm floored. And tell us where you're going to be appearing.
Oh, we'll be at Republic of Pie this Friday evening at 7. It's in North Hollywood.
Republic of Pie. Now,
It's amazing pie.
do you have their address, or will you send it to me? We'll put it on.
We'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's on Magnolia.
It's on Magnolia,
Right,
right
I
in
can't
the
remember
NoHo
exactly.
Arts District there.
It's in the NoHo Arts District. And go on my Facebook. It's going to be there like sooner rather than later. And come and see us. Is there like a cover or a minimum or
No, it's just a coffee and
free
pie
to
shop.
listen to you guys?
Yeah.
Free
It's
show.
gonna
Yeah.
be casual.
What
fun.
time?
7 to 8.
Friday, 7 to 8. If you want to meet me in person, if you know me, not that I'm a celebrity, it's hysterical. It's all about you, but I got to put it in that it's all about me.
Yeah.
But if for whatever reason you want to come, I'm going to be there 7 to 8. Please don't miss this. And then keep following Facebook, because I'll also give you their Facebook and their site, because they've got 4 original songs in a throwback style. What does that mean?
It means we recorded in a live in the room kind of way, you know, just
To tape
to tape.
instead of
Ooh.
digitally.
Analog. Yeah.
Nice.
We just wanted to focus on our strengths, kind of like what you were saying earlier, and
Yeah.
keep it simple, you know? So
So one of the things that was sent to me is that they love the quote, "All you need are 2 chords and the truth." And ain't that the truth? But seriously, if you think about it, it's you know, when anything that you do is from the heart, it just hits that chord. Like somebody said, I said to somebody the other day, I said, you know, I don't even understand what it is that gets people to tune into the show, which is why I want to do better and better and better and give something of value. Because I'll go anywhere, I'll do anything, I'll buy things that people go, what do you need that for? And I go, well, there's something of value in there. I love the idea of value because to me, value and truth, even though they're totally opposite, it kind of is synonymous of having, the truth has worth and, value is value. And so, when you give me something, like that, it's people said to me, oh, you're so real on the show. And I said, what does that mean? I guess I don't know what that means. I feel like I'm silly and I feel like I'm corny and I say all the wrong things. And, but besides that, and that's what I've always loved about you, that ever since I met you, you were always very bottom line, honest, truthful, very sincere. And I am such a sucker for that. I'm such a sucker for honesty and sincerity. And you've brought that into your son. Because I know when I talk to him,
Oh, he's very honest.
isn't he?
Yes.
I told him one time, did I look pretty in this? And he kind of looked at me and smiled. And I thought,
No.
how is it at 3 that you didn't say, no, not really. But I think we have a mutual love going
yeah,
on.
he
And I
loves
think he
you.
just smiled and he didn't want to say, no. And then he kind of distracted me. And I thought, man, oh man, he's a 3-year-old winner.
He's
Yeah.
good. Very
He's a
charming.
little bit beyond his years. A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
And, that also has a lot to do with you. So without getting really, down and dirty and personal, but you had said earlier that a lot of your songs come from what it is that you've lived in life and what you've experienced. And one of the things that this show is about is to say stuff happens. It's going to happen. It's happened in the past. And no matter how balanced you are today, it's going to happen in the future. And what I love about having, just anybody in the show, but talented people like you who can say, okay, so share something that you're comfortable with, give us a little bit of a background of what it was that felt like, insurmountable and what the steps were and how you overcame it, because I'm all about inspiration.
Okay.
Between the two of us, pretty much whatever you could imagine, I would say our mutual lives collectively. I mean, my parents are divorced, heartbreaks, miscarriages. It's already there, and we're, early 30s, and so late 20s, early 30s. And so I think when you have those kind of setbacks, it's your attitude, and you have to take that with a grain of salt and not let it define you and not become a victim, and then move on. And then, just musically speaking, that's like our outlet for that in a way. Like, I think that there are songs that we've written that have helped me go through
Yeah.
something.
Wow.
So, and also just with the challenges of life, being a mother and a wife and working, and I work and we have dogs, and it's a lot in LA. And so carving out,
Having a dog in LA is a lot. It is.
Having a dog anywhere is a lot. I have 2, I know.
That's my big time suck right
Her
now,
dog's
but
her baby.
she is my baby. Carving out time for this, that's it. It's so inspiring for us, and we love music so much, and it's our joy that we make the time. And when we're tired and when we've had a long week, we still practice and we still write. And that in itself, like, just that we're doing it is the inspiring part for me right now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I answered your question.
no, you did. You totally did. But I just want to go back for a second because, like you give me the beginning and you give me like all of that. And, I was divorced and I killed myself because I come from a non-divorced family, because when I was growing up, nobody was divorced. And then when my kids were growing up, and I always said, I'm not getting a divorce. It's horrible. What can you not solve? Why can't you go back to what the attraction was and blah, blah, blah. And I was telling myself all that. And after 20 years of marriage, I just said, you know what? I gave it a shot. There's nothing wrong with us. We're just not, we started doing this. And so when you say, are there any tools you can share with us? Because that's where and if it's personal, by all means, just say, none of your business, lady. But are there any tools? Like you said you were in a Bible study, so obviously that helps you. But did you surround yourself with people? Did you go to therapy? Did you go for long walks? Did you work out? I get that it's the music, but not everyone's as talented as you. And I could, have a bad day and want to go write a song, and oh my gosh, you wouldn't even want to read it.
I literally did all of those things. I have the most amazing friends and family in the world. And the key is forgiveness. And letting things go. Like that, for me, if you don't hold on to it, it doesn't have the power over you. So you have to forgive.
Can you say that again?
If you don't hold on to it, it won't have the power over you.
Did you guys hear that? If you don't hold on to it, it doesn't have the power over you. I don't want you to miss these amazing golden nuggets.
The song that we played, actually, Ordinary Girl, some of our songs originate more with me, some originate more with Briana, some we write completely together. Ordinary Girl originated more with Briana. And when we met, we were both at a similar point in our lives where we'd both moved here thinking we'd be actors and that it would happen really fast and we'd be, super successful. And that didn't happen for either of us. We both worked some. But I specifically was at a point where I felt like I was having a, crisis, because that's all I'd ever wanted to do. And then all of a sudden, I'd been out here doing it for 6 years and I didn't really want to do it anymore. But it felt like a giant failure. I felt like I'd failed. It was kind of the first major thing I'd ever failed at in my life.
Wow.
So, and I don't know the specifics of Brianna's journey with her acting career, but when we met, we both kind of weren't really doing it anymore. Hadn't really worked. And I really connected to Ordinary Girl. And that song, that poor song, has been through the ringer. I mean, it's been rewritten and reworked 100 times. And then we knew we really had it when she'd been, playing around with it some, and I'd thrown in some ideas, and she'd worked on it a lot, and she played it for me, and it just made me sob, because it hit that place of...
I know what you mean. I was like, oh.
It hit that place in my heart of like, yeah, that's what that feels like, to just feel really small,
And just want to be heard.
Wow. So I guess that's one way the music helped us. But I guess in that sense, just being honest about it, and like she said, letting it go and being open to new ventures and letting go of dreams if they don't feel right anymore, and being okay with that,
So let's talk about that just for a minute. And like I said, I'm probably the worst kind of person when it comes to this, because I know a lot about I know a little about a lot of things, but I'm not a therapist. I don't have any licenses, and even though I tell people what to do all day long, I don't purport to know what I'm talking about. But once in a while, people will take a little something that I say, and then they'll run it by some other people, and it grows in mushrooms. And as far as I'm concerned, if I can get your brain going, and if you start thinking about something, I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's top of the mind awareness and talk about something. So we all use the words a lot, letting it go.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for example, I have a terrible pain. I'm just going to make it up. My parents got divorced, and I'm feeling very neglected. They're so caught up with their own things, whatever. How do I let it go? I'm still feeling what I'm feeling. So do you find something else to put in the place of that? Like when that feeling comes up, it would be really nice in a perfect world to say, okay, I don't want this feeling. I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
But give us some tools. This is about how-tos.
I would say, just in that instance, honesty with your parents, with the person.
Wow, that's huge, Briana.
Well, and start there, and then you can't control other people, but you can control how you act and react. So start there, and then maybe they didn't notice, and they can change that behavior.
Wow.
And if not, then you have to deal with that.
That's very healthy. Okay, you guys, we got healthy girls here. Okay, anything you want to add to that?
For me personally, I think everyone has their own process with grief, but I have to talk about things. I have to talk about them.
Good for you.
And I'm lucky to have great friends and a great husband and great, family that I can be real with and talk things over 100 times, and they don't get bothered or annoyed,
Now, I've watched something. I've known you, maybe 4 years now, 4.5 years. And I watch a lot of clients. And of course, I'm really, really, really confidential. But I'm hoping, and after the show, you can hit me on the head if I'm out of line. But I've watched you with your husband, and your husband's an actor, and he's very handsome, and he dotes on you. He worships the ground you walk on. I see it. I don't know if you do. He loves your son. He's got an amazing sense of humor, and he really looks at you as that queen. And I know that he goes out on a lot of things. He looks like a young Brad Pitt, if you ask me. So if you want a Brad Pitt look-alike. Okay, never mind. Anyways, he's...
Tyler Sedestein.
Tyler Sedestein. Sedustine. On...
Little plug.
Yeah, there you go. So basically, but how difficult is it to be... a producer, a director, a songwriter, a mom, all of that, raising a son, expecting, another one now, and having a husband who's an actor to still keep that positive.
Well,
how do you do it?
What we always say is you sacrifice one way or the other. So,
Excuse me, can you say that again?
You sacrifice one way or the other.
What does that mean?
That means, doing life like that in Los Angeles is very difficult. and we've not always had the things that we wanted, like enough living space, or we have a yard for our son now. It feels like a miracle. Like I feel like I'm going to cry even talking about it. Thanks to Anita helping us get a house.
Thanks to Anita Rich and the Rich Group. Woohoo!
But, you know, we don't always have enough money or space or time. We don't have any family out here. You know what I mean? So doing family life and pursuing our dreams at the same time here, a lot of sacrifices. But were we to move somewhere else where we could have, you know, more American dream kind of things, you know, if that is what we were after, which it's not really, we'd be sacrificing what we really want to do with our lives.
But I've never heard you complain. See, the thing that I'm so impressed about, and the reason that I'm so excited that you're here as part of, you know, the Rich Life and with your amazing music, which I can't wait for that to be out in mainstream because people need to hear you. I am so moved, and I was so healed, and I was so tuned in. I mean, I wish you would do like a meditation tape. Like I just felt your voices were angelic, soothing. You know, I'm a crazy person. I mean, even though I do yoga and all of this, you know, I'm in my 60s. I have this energy that I don't even, and it's not overabundance of coffee or caffeine or, you know, but I have this insane energy, and everybody always says, oh, the Energizer Bunny, she's going to go, and then all of a sudden one day it's going to be bloop, and that's going to be the end of it. So I just don't feel like I'm going to slowly deteriorate. And when I hear something like what I just heard a little earlier, I just go into this.
It's good.
I go into this space of like, I felt very protected. Because, you know, my life was different than yours, but I was a refugee at the age of 6, and English is my third language, and yada, yada, yada. The listeners have heard this over and over. But I just felt embraced. I felt safe. I felt soothed. And even though you sang about a girl who didn't want to feel small, hearing it, I just felt strong. Like I felt somebody was going to come along and help her from feeling small. And somebody was going to come along and listen to her. That is the message that I got.
Good.
Well, that's great.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. But you know, I really listen, even though I'm constantly talking. People can't believe it. I really listen, and I really listen to the nuances because I was an only child till I was 16, so I was never heard. My parents were always working. So when I hear something that even touches a tiny bit on my life, or if it doesn't touch on my life but still has a message, I'm like all over it. And you girls have an amazing message.
Thanks.
Like you have a message, you have the delivery, you have the style, and so where's your CD, or where is it going to be sold?
Oh, it's going to be up on iTunes in a couple weeks. And then I think you're going to have our Facebook info, and so you will be able to find it on our Facebook.
Yeah, it'll be
which is
streamable for
yeah.
free from multiple places, but then if you want to actually purchase it and have it on your devices, it'll be on iTunes.
No, I want to have it on my devices. But here's what I'd like. Just go to The Rich Life and post it, you know, there and whatever, so that all of my people will grab it. And because you know what? People go viral all the time. And I kind of don't like the word because I keep thinking of a virus, but then, you know, I'm old world. So I'm like, wait, viral? You know, but anyways,
Plague.
the derivative, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and talking about viral, I am so delighted that both of you are well.
Yeah.
Because everybody around me, I don't know what's going on, but hello, if you live in LA, what is happening?
It's cold and flu season, especially if you have little people.
But this year, it's not even a normal cold, and you know, they call
really?
it what, this Heine virus or
I don't
whatever.
know.
But it's ridiculous. So my recommendation is wash your hands 40,000 times a day, take a little extra vitamins, de-stress, which is impossible, but they just gave you tips on how to de-stress. Whatever it is, just keep happy thoughts, be around that. You know, as soon as it's downloadable, download their music and listen to it when you're feeling stressed. I bet you'll like say, oh, yeah, I get what she means. So there's all kinds of different ways of doing things, and get a lot of sleep, get a lot of rest. Do not burn the candle on both ends. And yeah, I know this is from the 1950s, but you know, that's when I was born. Okay, so what should we talk about? We have a couple of minutes left, and I want you to give me whatever it is that's on your mind. And by the way, I mean, anybody that knows Briana, Olivia can tell you, we've had no conversations prior to the show. I do not plan the show in advance. I asked them whatever it is. So everything they came up with was just, you know, this is not Oprah where you get to know what your questions are. And
Is that how Oprah works? I don't know anything about
yeah, most people, Ellen, Oprah, I mean, you
okay.
kind of know what the questions are going to be. So you have an idea.
Okay.
But I chose not to do that because I don't know how else to get people to talk to me from their heart. I usually never have a script. The only script I have is your name and where we are, because I go, where are we? Oh, yeah. We're on the beautiful Sunset Strip in Los Angeles, California. So talk to me. Give me any young girl, married girl, like just, again, I say whatever pops in your mind because that's the way we roll.
Okay. Well, you say you want us to be real, right?
I do.
You okay with this?
Oh, okay, go.
So we're playing a show tonight. It's been 2 years since we were supposed to have played a show. Wow.
You mean Friday? She means Friday.
Did I say Tuesday?
She
I
said
have
tonight.
pregnant brain.
She has pregnancy brain.
Well, you
Friday
said
night.
You said tonight, but that's
Friday
okay.
night, we're
And I
playing a
was gonna.
show.
I'm ready to go tonight.
We're not. Friday night we're playing a show. It's been about 2 years since we were supposed to play a show. Or no, since we actually played.
The 2 years
Yeah.
since we actually played, a year and a half since we were supposed to play.
So the last time we were supposed to be playing, I started miscarrying. So obviously, like, couldn't be on stage. And Briana was totally my rock through that.
Oh.
But I bring that up because we talked about, you know, having busy lives and prioritizing and working hard and, you know, putting it in when we don't want to. But on the other side of that, like, life's all about seasons, you know?
Yep.
So one thing that we've really learned, and just our faith has showed us, that there are going to be times when the doors are open and there are going to be times when the doors are closed. And we've been working on our stuff for about 3 years now. And it's only now that we feel ready at all to share it, you know, that we've found our sound and have some songs that we want to share. And especially after what happened last year, we just went into this down kind of slump where there was very little joy in our music, you know. And we tried to, you know, still practice and get together, but it just wasn't happening. So I guess letting go, what you were asking about earlier, just resting in that season and being like, okay, you know, this isn't going to stop us, but this is what it is right now. We can't pretend like it's not heavy, or, you know what I mean? Or it's just not the season where we're going to launch, even though we thought it would be. So that's been huge for us, just learning to trust and be okay with things taking as long as they take. We recorded our EP in June last year. We still haven't released it. We will soon, in the next couple weeks, but we don't know the music business. We're learning, you know, and like we said, life has happened. So really just learning to trust God's timing and, you know, seasons of life and be at peace about wherever we are.
So
That's
now
been
I
huge.
understand why Elijah is the way he is, because I've seen you say to him, hold on a second, mommy's doing something, and then I just have him look at you with that yummy face of his, because he really is so yummy. You're gonna have to post him, because now people are gonna want to, like, who is she talking about? And you know, he just waits. And so thank you. I know that was hard to share.
Yeah.
And I think it's so amazing and beautiful. And you had me and my whole office staff crying. I don't even know how long ago, when it was the baby's birthday. I think she posted it on the baby's first birthday, that today, you know, was the day that you would have been a year old and everything. And so we were like basket cases. And I'm like, call her, don't call her, call her, don't call her. And the next thing I knew is, you know, she's pregnant, and you know, it's there. Wow. Whew. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Briana, you are a rock and a half. That is just, to have
Yeah.
a friend like you. I mean, I'm fortunate because I have a few. Let me ask you something. I know, talk about being unprepared. Do you have a 2-minute song? Just so, is there something that you have a 3-minute song? Would
Dear
you?
June.
Oh, yeah, we could do
This
that.
is not going to be soothing, though.
Oh, that's okay.
And
We'll leave it
Wait,
on up
yeah,
note.
yeah,
Let's leave it
yeah.
on up
Woo.
note.
this is unrehearsed, and it's not going to
Okay.
And I don't have my shaker.
Okay, can someone in the studio
okay.
just shake something?
shake something.
Do we
It's
have a
all right.
shaker?
I normally would have my son's toy shaker. That's actually what I use.
Oh my gosh.
We meant to buy a real one, but that one
But
works
it sounds
just fine.
fine. So.
Here goes nothing.
Dear June. Can you start over?
I will.
Okay.
We'll start over.
Dear June, you're a horror lace and tool. All this running to get to you makes me come unglued. Dear June, you make the girls all sweat if you're coming up, and they ain't got a ring yet. I got married at the end of September, so I don't understand this rush. Why are you crying like you're gonna start dying? You ain't close to pushing daisies up. Dear June, you're a horror lace and tool. All this running to get to you makes me come unglued. Dear June, you make the girls all sweat if you're coming up, and they ain't got a ring yet.
Here standard and it's tough to digest. It cost me $200. I'm gonna use it for a target practice. Shoot a bullseye through the bust.
Dear June,
Dear June,
you're a horror life sent to. All this running to get to you makes me come unglued. Dear June,
Dear June,
you make the girls all sweat if you're coming up, and they ain't got a ring yet. She's just blushing cause the preacher caught her cussing out the baker about the layer cake.
Groom is shaking about the choice he's making. He ain't never seen her this way.
There's this life you only live without him, and it's passing by while you fixate on him. Oh dear June, you're a hard life sent to. All this running to get to you makes me come unglued. Dear June, you make the girls all sweat if you're coming up, and they ain't got a ring yet. Dear June, you're a hard life sent to. All this running to get to you makes me come unglued.
Oh my goodness.
And just to be clear,
Yes.
that's just simply about rushing to the altar with the wrong person and girls thinking that their life is going to be perfect when they get married, and it's not.
They just gotta marry somebody.
Anybody.
Don't do it.
You will do. And that's what that song's about. It's not,
Yeah.
it's a letter to the month of June, actually.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love it. And I love the fact that, so many people say, my life will be perfect when I lose 20 pounds. And it'll be great when I get a house. And it'll be great when I get a car. And you know what? Your life is your life right now. And if you don't like where you are with your life right now, change your mind. Change what you're doing. Surround yourself. We got so many good things. I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, we got so much fabulous information from Olivia and Briana. And how wonderful that you got music, life, inspiration. So don't forget, go and visit them on Facebook. Like us all on Facebook. Just go for it.
Like everybody.
Yeah, and it's facebook.com/wrong women.
The wrong women.
The Wrong Woman. Facebook.com/The Wrong Woman. And then for our show, it's Facebook.com/The Rich Life Radio. So if you want to continue to have amazing music, if you want to continue to have real estate people, if you want to have doctors, lawyers, merchants, there was a movie about that or something?
Merchants.
Anyways, whatever it is that you want, please let us know, because unless you let us know, I'm just going to come here and ramble. And I really am doing this so that I always say, if I can make a difference in one person's life, if you're listening in and you were moved or inspired or looking at this gorgeous mommy who's going to have a baby and her amazing angelic friend, I'm going to get the recipe for vegetable soup. And if you want it, you're going to have
She's
to
an amazing cook.
yeah, you're going to have to ask for it. And you're going to have to come on my Facebook and say, I want Briana's vegetable soup. And don't you dare go on their Facebook and ask for it, because I want to know that you were listening and you were here today. So all that being said, I want to thank you. I'm moved by you. I'm inspired by you. I'm grateful to you.
Thank you.
I hope that
We're
you,
very honored to be invited.
Yes, thank you so
thank you.
much.
Yeah.
I hope to see your name in lights, because you are real, you're talented, you're humble, you're honest, and I hope you're not going to become
We're too old for that.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, you know what? Those producers who are out there looking for a new person, go ahead and grab them. And as always, coming to you live from Sunset Gower UBN Radio, Anita Rich with The Rich Life. Love you, mean it. See you next Monday.